Humility. It's a word that often carries an air of meekness, as if to be humble is to lower oneself, to retreat from strength. But humility is not weakness. It is power in its most transformative and pragmatic form. Humility is essential for growth, transformation, and the unique challenges we face as a predominantly psychosocial species. Growth begins with the recognition that we don't have all the answers. And to learn, we must first admit our ignorance. This act, simple yet profound, is humility in motion. Without it, our minds close, and we become prisoners of an egotistical mind, stuck in patterns that no longer serve us, or anyone else for that matter. Humility creates space for self-awareness. It allows us to examine our flaws without shame and to celebrate our strengths without arrogance. It is the fertile soil in which the seeds of transformation are planted. Without it, personal growth becomes an illusion, a shallow performance for others rather than a deep, genuine evolution. Humility is not just about seeing where we fall short. It's about being open to change. It's about realizing the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what we deserve, and what the world owes us are not set in stone. They are drafts, subject to revision. Transformation, whether personal or collective, requires this flexibility. It requires the courage to say, maybe I was wrong, and the wisdom to ask, what can I learn? This is the power of humility. It unlocks doors that pride keeps shut. It is not about diminishing ourselves, but expanding our capacity to adapt, to improve, and to connect. Here's where humility becomes more than a virtue. It becomes a pragmatic necessity. As humans, we are a predominantly psychosocial species. Our survival and success depend on our ability to navigate complex social landscapes. Relationships, communities, and societies thrive on mutual respect and collaboration, both of which require humility. Without humility, conflicts escalate, misunderstandings deepen, and progress grinds to a halt. Pride demands to be right at all costs, but humility seeks understanding. It asks, what am I missing? This isn't just noble, it's practical. In a world increasingly defined by interdependence, humility is a survival skill. It allows us to build bridges where others see walls, to heal where others would harm, and to grow stronger as a collective. As a species wired for connection, humility also impacts our mental health and a sense of belonging. Arrogance isolates, but humility fosters connection. When we approach others with humility, we signal that we value their perspectives, their experiences, and their worth. This creates trust and opens the door to deeper, more meaningful relationships. But there's another layer here, one that speaks to the shadow side of our social nature. Because we are so influenced by the perceptions of others, we are prone to perform humility rather than practice it. This performative humility, driven by fear or the desire for approval, is hollow. Genuine humility comes not from a need to please, but from a deep understanding of our place in the grander scheme of things. When we embrace this authentic humility, we free ourselves from the exhausting need to prove our worth. We step into a space where growth and transformation become not just possible, but inevitable. Humility is often misunderstood as self-negation, but in reality, it is the ultimate act of self-empowerment. It takes confidence to admit what we don't know, strength to face our vulnerabilities, and wisdom to seek guidance from others. In this way, humility is a paradox. It requires great strength to acknowledge weakness and courage to surrender control. For a psychosocial species like us, this paradox is key. It allows us to navigate the complexities of human interaction without losing ourselves in the process. It reminds us that while we are individual beings, our growth is inextricably linked to the collective. To elevate ourselves, we must also elevate those around us. Now, where does this leave us? With a challenge and an invitation. The challenge is to confront our pride, our fear, and our resistance to change. The invitation is to embrace humility, not as a burden, but as a gift. Humility is not about thinking less of ourselves. It's about thinking of ourselves less. It's about stepping out of the shadow of ego and into the light of possibility. It's about recognizing that our greatest strength lies not in what we know, but in our willingness to learn, to grow, and to transform. In a world desperate for connection, clarity, and compassion, humility is the bridge. It's the foundation of growth, the fuel for transformation, and the key to navigating our complex, interconnected lives. It is, quite simply, the path forward. The question is, are we willing to walk it?